Okay, good morning.
Good morning. Buenos dias.
So, we are on our way to go get coffee with the chaplain of Los Angeles Chargers, George Gregory and his wife Tondra Gregory. And they have an awesome mission to just really see marriages just come together and just using preventative work on the front end to give tools and resources to couples so that they are not in dire need of help and getting a divorce, because in Orange County there's a 72% divorce rate, and they're super passionate about lowering that and then coming alongside couples and giving them resources to prevent people getting to that stage. And we are just feel really honored that we were able to schedule a time with them to grab coffee, and we are really nervous. I'm really nervous for some reason. I don't even know why, but I'm really nervous. We stayed up last night, came up with some questions.
Yep.
And I think it's just really cool when you can get together with other people who are like-minded, who want to change the world, and who are actually doing something about it. There's a lot of people who want to do things and say things, but a lot of people lack the motivation or the action to do it. And so we are so excited and feel honored to sit down with them and just pick their brain. We're just sitting down just to pick their brain, just ask them questions about how they got to where they are, some crucial steps that help them get from point A to point B, and kind of just like what actually helped them accomplish their goal. Because when you're given such a large, I call it a God-sized dream, it can be really intimidating and you don't even know where to start. And so we're really excited to just kind of pick that mindset from them. So Clint, want to share anything?
No, I'm just excited. I think that's what it's all about. It's like being around like-minded people, like Charity was saying. And I think that many times people are scared of the dream that God puts on their heart.
Yeah.
And I think what happens is we almost like play chess in our head, and we think, oh man, well if I do this, then that's going to happen, and I can't do it because of this, and
Yep.
it's a lot of I can't because, and this wouldn't work out, and then you talk to people about it, and I think we talk to the wrong people about it.
Yep.
And a lot of times we talk to people that have never pursued their own God-sized dreams. And
Yep.
if somebody hasn't pursued their dream, it's very hard to give any kind of a right perspective or be an advocate for somebody pursuing their dream. And so I think it's important that if you are pursuing something that you're fired up about and you're excited about, that you get around the right people
Yeah.
that are going to administer to your dream, help you achieve that, give you pointers, and just basically encourage you. And so that's what we're excited about, hearing their journey and hearing what they had to overcome, and just if they can go back to the beginning, what they would do differently. So I'm pumped. This is going to be an awesome time. I'm really excited to hang out with George and Tondra Gregory and just get impacted by them.
Yeah.
I know we're going to, that's for sure.
There's no dream that is too big for our God, that's for sure. So we'll stay tuned. We're excited. We can't wait to talk to you guys about it afterwards and what we learned.
Hey guys, we are Clinton and Charity Munoz, Clinton Charity, Clinton, Kate, and Chase, the C5 family. Busy and blessed for sure. And we're so glad you're on the journey as we look, live, and love differently. So we just met up with George and Tondra Gregory, and it was incredible. They have an amazing ministry, and I just want to tell you a little bit about that background. They spoke at Saddleback Church at Mother's Day, and it was absolutely incredible because we have such a unified vision with them. From the moment Cher and I were dating and talking about getting married, we realized that both of us had an incredible passion about changing and reversing the divorce rate. In Orange County, it's 72%. Nationwide in America, it's 50%. And that's inside and outside the church. So something is going on that needs to change. And there needs to be a movement where people are talking about what's working, what isn't working, and how to overcome. And that's exactly what they're doing. Their mission is to help couples have a lasting relationship by educating them and equipping them to do that. And I thought it was incredible how they both shared. And so we immediately after we heard them talk, we both were like, oh my gosh, we have to get around them. We have to pick their brain. We not only need their wisdom for our personal relationship, but also to see how they took a God-sized dream and have turned it into this ministry that is not only all over America, but is now advancing beyond that and worldwide, which we're really excited about.
Yeah. They are an incredible couple, and if you want to check out more for what they stand for and what they do and their mission statement and how they implement and help come alongside couples, you could go to their website, Journey for Life Now, or they're really active on their Instagrams too. They have an Instagram account called Journey for Life Now, and you could get all the information and what they're doing for couples right now, because it's pretty amazing. You're going to hear a lot about them in the next coming years as well.
Yep, they are incredible, for sure.
So we have a huge passion, and I came from a split family when I was 7, and so that really stirred inside of me to want to have an incredible marriage. And I think, a lot of people want a great marriage, we just don't know how. And it's funny because it's funny, but it's not funny at the same time, because marriage is a serious thing. But it literally took us 4 years to get a degree, yet you can sign a paper and be married. And to me, I think a lot of people, I don't think plans for divorce, honestly, or why would they spend so much money on an incredible wedding and honeymoon? But I just don't think a lot of people know the work that it takes to stay committed to somebody and have a lasting covenant. And so for us, we didn't want to give up too easily, but in the beginning of our marriage, it was really hard. It was really tough because we didn't really know what a lasting covenant looked like. We just signed the paper, got married, and I think we were more in lust than we were in love in the beginning. I think a lot of couples are at that place. Just speaking from our experience, we were that way. But it was really hard in the beginning of our relationship because we didn't know how to complete each other, and we competed with each other. From my background, I am a strong, independent woman and a very strong level-head leader. And so when we were communicating, we were like this. It was not this. It was this. And so I think the biggest thing that really hurt our relationship in the beginning was competing with each other rather than completing with each other. And just, I was constantly battling with his strengths. I was like, well, that's my strength too. Or he would say something and I would be like, I would contradict what he was saying. He's like, I didn't even say that. And just a side note, women are from Venus, men are from Mars. I found the planet of where they live, and I'm helping us work together. But it's so true. Like we spoke completely different languages, and so we realized later down being married that we had to start learning how to communicate to each other's language. And I think that's what in the beginning, at least, that was really hard for us to do. And that's like my one biggest tip for anybody who's currently married or looking at getting married, is realizing that you are two different people who speak two different languages, and you want to learn how to complete each other. And in doing that, study them, learn each other's strengths and weaknesses, and learn what it looks like to complete each other, and learn their language, their love languages, so that you can learn what it looks like to have a fruitful, lasting relationship moving forward.
Yeah, we have done so much work in that area, and I can't say enough about you personally, because you did that. Before I did that for you, I think every couple has that moment where whether they've been married 1 year or 5 years or 10 years, people change and they adapt and they grow. And I think what happened was, after a few months of being married, we had this idea, right? This idea that like marriage is gonna be nothing but like
bliss.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna be up all night and we have no curfew, and we're gonna get to enjoy the things that married couples enjoy. And it was gonna be all these things, and I think what we realized was like, oh my gosh, like there were so many little tiny things that we fought about.
Yeah.
And they turned into big arguments, they turned into minutes, turned into hours, turned into days. And it was so unfortunate, because here we were a few months into marriage, frustrated, angry. Well, she does this and he does this, so why does he do it that way? And what we had to realize was that we love each other for who they are, but there's also things that are now coming up that we didn't really know we were getting into, right? And then it's a decision. I think a lot of times marriage is about a decision. I know that's a lot of what George and Tanja talk about, is marriage being a covenant. And a covenant says, no matter what, like we're in this thing, we're sticking it out. And because you make a covenant, you then decide to study each other. And that's what Charity did. She started studying me. It's almost like if you're going to college or taking a class and there's a subject you want to learn about, what do? You read textbooks about it. You listen to seminars about it. You find out more information about it. And you sit there and you write papers and you write essays, and you decide that for how many years I'm going to study this to learn a lot about it.
So good.
And that's what you did.
Yeah.
You literally were like, we're in this thing for life.
Yeah.
So I better figure him out now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be a miserable life.
Yeah.
And because Charity, you did that, I started to do that. And we started to learn each other and read books. There's so many tools out there, so many things out there for couples, but I think we don't want it to be work. And I think we are just work averse. Yeah. And so we try to do things to avoid the work it takes. And I think what's crazy is I do believe that if you're married and you're watching this, you want a great marriage. Yeah. You want a fruitful marriage. You want intimacy in your marriage. And I'm not talking about just sexual intimacy, actual intimacy, the intimacy of being fully known and knowing fully the person you're married to. And I think what happens is, because we are, at least myself, work averse, we are not willing to do the work it takes to have a great marriage. My challenge to you is do the work, it's worth it, right?
Yeah.
The grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is green where you water it.
So
And that's what it's all about.
wow, that's amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've been working on my marriage.
And we are not perfect
Oh
at
my
all
God.
by any means. Like, I hope you're hearing this and be like, well, good for you guys. Like, no.
No, we had arguments today,
Yes.
but they've gone from days
Yes.
to hours, and now we're at minutes, which
Yeah.
is pretty cool.
Yeah. So that is why we sat down with George and Tondra Gregory, and I hope you guys looked them up. They're amazing, and they gave us some awesome tips, and we're really excited about just things that we're going to be doing in the future and talking more about our journey, our story, and how we've gone from point A to point B. So stay tuned for more videos and stories about what we're going to share.
And don't forget, please, to like this, to comment, to repost, DM us, whatever all those technical terms are. We hope you just get involved. And we hope this helps you look, live, and love differently. Thanks for watching. Woo!
Oh my goodness.
That was crazy.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh. We learned so much. It was so fun.
I was going to say, George and Tondra, if you ever get a chance to watch this video, thank you.
Yes.
From the bottom of our hearts. Like, that was so amazing. The time you took, the wisdom you shared, we took so many notes. So grateful for your transparency and the way you were just answering questions and adding value. And you were like, do this. You need to get this. You need this done.
Yeah.
I think what happened is, we have this vision that's like, we know we have a calling and we're excited about that. But the practical application isn't necessarily like fine-tuned.
Yeah.
And just to be around somebody who's taken a vision and for 25 plus years has been building it and submitting it to God and surrendering it and has seen what God could do. There's so many stories that George shared that were like, we couldn't do this, God did this.
Yeah.
We just did this much work and then God did this. And I know it's going to be our story too.
Yeah.
That we were just willing to say, here you go, God, here's all we got. And God's going to create something pretty cool out of it. So we're excited to see what that looks like.
One of the biggest takeaways is just start, just go, just do it. And we are so excited to just share with you guys our story, our journey, and to just give so many other people hope. So yeah, it was awesome. Can't wait to share with you guys more stuff on what we're working on after our conversation with him.